talk about baggage trains in pub battles. We all have a love-hate relationship with logistics. Supply is so critical. We want it in our games. But man, what a pain. But with the baggage train rules, pub battles captures the feel and the fun. Say what? To begin, let me explain how baggage trains work. A baggage train allows any spent unit within command range, and that's 1/3 of a mounted move, to rally to fresh, as long as it doesn't move and is not in an enemy field of fire. Let's look at this real game explanation from a game of Gettysburg. Two of Sedgwick's divisions are close enough to the unpacked bags to rally, but Wright's block is too close to a Southern block. It cannot rally. Sickles' men rally. Sykes' men are also too close to the Confederates to rally. They fall back to a safer area. Now, baggage trains all have a parent HQ that shows when they can move or pack and unpack. But it has nothing to do with who can use them to rally from spent. Yes, any block can be rallied using any unpacked baggage train. Even an enemy baggage train? No, it must be a friendly baggage train. Okay, fine. That's how baggage trains work. But why is this so cool? Well, I'm glad I asked. One characteristic of pub battles games is they have no victory point objectives on the map. There's no place on the map where it says, this hill, fort, town, or whatever was critical in the historical battle, so it's going to be critical in your battle. Pub battles lets you decide where the critical objectives are going to be when you unpack your baggage trains. You see, the baggage trains represent more than a few caissons. In addition to a network of supply depots, they also represent hospitals, engineering equipment, signal corps, basically all the things that this small city, your army, needs to remain intact and functioning. Which means when you unpack your bags, you're saying, here. This army is here. And so if you decide to pack up your bags, you can't just say, let's move back 100 yards. If things are serious enough that you have to move them, you're bugging out. Packing up your bags represents you electing to leave the battle in some sort of order. An orderly retreat, if you will. You see, in pub battles, there are 3 levels of loss. A minor loss is when you pack up your own bags, you're leaving on your terms. A major loss is when the enemy captures your bags, in which case you're leaving on their terms. When you have suffered 50% casualties, that is a decisive loss. That's the big one. That means your army broke. The effect of the baggage train rules become immediately apparent. When and where to unpack your bags becomes your most critical decision in the game. The hottest, most contested parts of the battle are almost always around the bags. This is when rolling to alter turn order and scrambling to move before the enemy can have game-ending consequences. Each chit draw becomes life or death. Does this mean the game is too random? Too luck-based? No. It does mean that the situation has deteriorated to the point where nothing but luck is going to save your sorry army from anything short of destruction. At this point, it might serve to remind you that we're talking about supply rules. When was the last time you had a game described to you as having edge-of-your-seat logistics rules? Now, it may seem the obvious tactic to never unpack your bags. Problem solved. However, by removing the chance of the 2 lesser loss levels, having to pack up your bags or having your bags captured, you dramatically increase the likelihood of the most decisive loss, the destruction of your whole army. Spent units, which if you don't unpack your bags, you'll have an abundance of. Spent units have a habit of melting away in combat. Also, the farther you get away from your unpacked bags, the harder it is to get back to them, rally, and then get back into combat again. But if you unpack too close to the enemy, now your bags are at risk. This makes deciding where and when to unpack your bags one of the toughest decisions you'll ever have to make in a war game. It takes hard-earned experience to learn. That's why it's called the art of war, not the science of war. And that's why I'm so enthusiastic about the pub battle system. It relies on judgment and feel and true leadership, not mastering endless charts and tables, nor gaming the system. There's a reason why the US military, and now militaries around the world, are using pub battles to train their officers. And hey, if you've played pub battles, I'd like to hear what your experiences are with baggage trains.
My background for this video has been the Command Post Games Kriegspiel map for the Battle of Bunker Hill.